Welcome everyone. Today we're focusing on the other side of sodium bicarbonate supplementation, the unwanted side effects. While baking soda can enhance high-intensity performance by buffering acid, many athletes stop using it because of nausea, bloating, or diarrhea. This talk will explore why these side effects occur, how they can negate performance benefits, and most importantly, what practical strategies you can use to minimize discomfort. We'll look at dosing, timing, splitting protocols, capsule delivery, and food combinations, as well as considerations for people with health conditions. By the end, you should have the tools to decide whether sodium bicarbonate belongs in your routine and how to use it responsibly. Sodium bicarbonate can enhance high-intensity performance by buffering hydrogen ions that accumulate during anaerobic efforts. At the same time, it's notorious for causing stomach upset, leaving some athletes feeling worse than before they took it. The benefits and the drawbacks go hand in hand. Raising your blood pH may delay fatigue, but the extra sodium and carbon dioxide in your gut can cause bloating and diarrhea. Our challenge is to unlock the benefits without the bathroom emergency. To achieve that, we first need to understand why the discomfort happens and then explore strategies to mitigate it. On paper, sodium bicarbonate raises your blood pH and helps clear hydrogen ions from working muscles, which should improve performance in high-intensity activities. However, gastrointestinal distress can wipe out any gains by forcing you to slow down or quit. The key is understanding how bicarbonate works and how dosing strategies influence side effects. By learning the underlying mechanisms, you can make informed decisions about whether the supplement fits your needs and how to tailor it to reduce discomfort. In short, we need to weigh the potential performance boost against the risk of an upset stomach. Baking soda is inexpensive and widely available. You don't need a fancy supplement to try it. Its buffering power has been demonstrated in various contexts, including sprinting, combat sports, and rowing, making it an appealing ergogenic aid. Yet despite its accessibility and potential, stomach upset remains the most common reason lifters and athletes skip it. With proper protocols, you might harness its benefits without sacrificing comfort. Our goal is to make you aware of the stakes, what you stand to gain, and what you risk, so you can approach sodium bicarbonate intelligently. During intense exercise, hydrogen ions accumulate inside muscle cells, lowering pH and contributing to fatigue. When you ingest sodium bicarbonate, it dissociates in the gut and enters the bloodstream as bicarbonate ions. These ions bind free hydrogen ions in the blood, increasing the gradient for hydrogen to leave the muscle. This process helps maintain pH outside the cells, and by extension supports pH inside the cells, as protons are transported out more efficiently. Without this extra buffer, hydrogen can build up in the muscle and lead to earlier fatigue. Muscle pH usually sits around 7.1 at rest. During intense work, it can drop towards 6.5. This drop slows enzyme activity and impairs calcium binding, making muscle contractions less efficient. That burn feeling is not just discomfort, it is a sign that your muscles are becoming more acidic and struggling to keep up. Buffering with sodium bicarbonate slows this pH decline and delays fatigue. The key is to raise your blood bicarbonate enough to support acid clearance, without overwhelming your stomach. Sodium bicarbonate has its strongest evidence of benefit in high-intensity efforts lasting roughly 30 seconds to about 12 minutes. These include repeated sprints, combat sports, 2,000-meter rowing, 100 to 400-meter swimming, cycling intervals, and high-intensity functional workouts. In these contexts, acidosis can be a limiting factor, and extracellular buffering can make a noticeable difference. Conversely, this supplement is not designed for easy Zone 2 cardio or pure strength tests, which rely on different energy systems and do not produce as many hydrogen ions. It's important to recognize that bicarbonate is not useful for steady-state endurance at low intensity. Aerobic metabolism produces minimal acid, so there's nothing to buffer, nor does bicarbonate enhance maximal strength or one-repetition lifts, which rely on phosphagen energy rather than glycolysis. Save sodium bicarbonate for situations where acid-based stress actually limits performance. Using it outside of these contexts is unlikely to help and may cause unnecessary discomfort. Up to 1/3 of athletes report gastrointestinal symptoms after taking baking soda. Common complaints include bloating, belching, bowel urgency, stomach cramps, flatulence, diarrhea, nausea, and even vomiting. These issues stem from the production of carbon dioxide gas when bicarbonate neutralizes stomach acid and from the large sodium load entering the gut. For many people, these side effects are uncomfortable enough to negate any performance benefits. Understanding that GI distress is a real and prevalent barrier underscores the need for careful dosing and mitigation strategies. When sodium bicarbonate reaches the stomach, it reacts with hydrochloric acid to form carbonic acid, which quickly breaks down into water and carbon dioxide gas. This gas expands the stomach and can cause belching, bloating, and nausea. Additionally, bicarbonate increases sodium delivery to the intestines, pulling water into the gut and sometimes causing diarrhea and cramps. The combination of gas and fluid movement explains why the supplement can make you feel uncomfortably full or send you running to the restroom. For some athletes, nausea and stomach cramps can ruin workouts more effectively than any ergogenic boost can help. There's little point in improving your theoretical performance capacity if GI distress forces you to slow down or stop. Because sodium bicarbonate success is ultimately determined by your ability to tolerate it, the presence or absence of side effects becomes the deciding factor in whether it is practical. That's why we emphasize tolerance over chasing the largest possible dose. According to guidelines from the International Society of Sports Nutrition, 0.2 grams per kilogram of body weight is considered the minimum effective single dose for sodium bicarbonate. Many athletes aim for around 0.3 grams per kilogram because it often balances performance enhancement with tolerable side effects. Higher doses above roughly 0.3 grams per kilogram rarely provide extra benefit and significantly increase the risk of nausea, bloating, and diarrhea. Instead of blindly taking more, it's better to fine-tune your dose within the effective range based on your personal tolerance. To translate those dose recommendations into real numbers, let's look at a few examples. A 60 kilogram athlete would take about 12 grams at 0.2 grams per kilogram, and 18 grams at 0.3 grams per kilogram. A 75 kilogram athlete would take roughly 15 grams and 22.5 grams at the same dose levels. A 90 kilogram athlete would take about 18 grams or 27 grams. These examples show that heavier athletes require more powder, which can amplify side effects. Always measure your dose with a digital scale and adjust according to how your body responds. It's tempting to think that if a moderate dose works, a bigger dose will work even better. Unfortunately, increasing the dose above 0.3 grams per kilogram does not further enhance performance and instead increases the likelihood of nausea, bloating, and diarrhea. Research indicates that staying within the range of 0.2 to 0.3 grams per kilogram is optimal for most people. Within that range, you can fine-tune the exact amount based on your tolerance and the nature of your event. More is not better, it's more likely to be worse. When introducing sodium bicarbonate into your routine, begin with a dose around 0.2 grams per kilogram to see how your stomach responds. Test your GI tolerance during training sessions, not on race day when there's no margin for error. Only increase towards 0.3 grams per kilogram if you experience minimal discomfort at the lower dose. This stepwise approach allows your digestive system to adapt and helps you identify your personal threshold without risking a ruined competition. Tolerance builds through repeated exposure. Use sodium bicarbonate in several training sessions to identify your threshold for side effects. Keep a log of any nausea, bloating, or cramps you experience so you can adjust the dose or timing. Remember, the best protocol is the one you can actually tolerate and replicate. There's no point in taking a supplement if it consistently upsets your stomach and distracts you from your training. Gradual experimentation helps you find a sustainable routine. Fractional dosing divides your total bicarbonate intake into smaller servings spaced over time. Research shows that taking 3 equal doses reduces gastrointestinal discomfort compared with a single large bolus. For example, if you plan to take 0.3 grams per kilogram, you could take 0.1 grams per kilogram every 20 minutes over the course of 1 hour. This approach reduces the sudden influx of sodium and carbon dioxide production in your stomach, allowing your body to process the supplement more gently. To implement split dosing, spread your intake across the pre-workout window, often between 60 and 120 minutes. Sip your bicarbonate drink slowly, or take mini tablets at regular intervals rather than all at once. If you feel bloated, lengthen the window or reduce each mini dose slightly. The goal is to let your digestive system handle the supplement gradually so that gas doesn't build up as quickly and water movement in the intestines is less abrupt. Adjust the number of splits and the timing to suit your own tolerance. Individual responses vary widely. Even with split dosing, some athletes still experience symptoms. Adjust the number of splits, the interval between doses, and the total amount until you find what works best for you. Keep notes on each trial and replicate the most successful protocol on competition day. Since there is no one-size-fits-all solution, personal experimentation is the only way to discover your optimal dosing strategy. Timing your dose is another factor that affects both alkalosis and tolerance. Most protocols recommend taking bicarbonate about 60 to 180 minutes before exercise. Blood pH often peaks around 60 to 90 minutes, but some athletes feel better closer to 180 minutes. Use training sessions to discover when your blood bicarbonate peaks and when your GI distress is minimal. This information helps you time your dose for maximum benefit and minimal discomfort. If your race or match occurs at a fixed time, you need to work backwards from the start. Plan your pre-event meal and bicarbonate intake so that they do not interfere with your warm-up or travel schedule. For example, if you compete at noon and your testing shows that you feel best 2 hours after taking bicarbonate, plan to take it around 10. Maintain consistency by repeating the same timing schedule you practiced in training. On race day, your body will know what to expect and respond accordingly. Enteric-coated and gastro-resistant capsules bypass the stomach and release bicarbonate in the intestine. Because they dissolve later, these capsules can reduce stomach bloating, stomach ache, and flatulence compared with uncoated tablets or powders. They may allow you to use lower doses while still raising blood bicarbonate levels effectively. Capsules also make dosing more convenient when traveling or competing. As with any new form, test them during training to see how your body reacts. Consuming sodium bicarbonate with a carbohydrate-containing meal can slow gastric emptying. The presence of food helps reduce the rapid reaction between bicarbonate and stomach acid, which can lessen gas production and decrease nausea and diarrhea. Plan your intake with a snack or meal containing easily digestible carbohydrates, such as oatmeal or a banana, to improve tolerance. Avoid high-fat meals close to dosing, as fat slows digestion too much and might delay the rise in blood bicarbonate beyond your event. Neither capsules nor food eliminate side effects for everyone. Test different capsule forms, enteric-coated versus gelatin, and vary meal composition to see what reduces your symptoms most effectively. Keep records of which combinations work best and replicate them on race day. Be prepared that it may take a few tries to identify the ideal pairing of supplement form and food. Sodium bicarbonate adds a substantial amount of sodium to your diet. People with high blood pressure, heart failure, liver disease, or kidney disease need to exercise caution and consult a healthcare professional before using it. Those on sodium-restricted diets or who already have high sodium, high calcium, or low potassium levels should avoid supplementation. Remember that your overall health status influences how your body handles the extra sodium load. So always consider underlying conditions when experimenting with bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate can interact with several types of medications, including diuretics, corticosteroids, certain antibiotics, and asthma drugs. It may lower potassium levels and raise sodium levels in the blood, which can interfere with medication efficacy and safety. If you take any medications or have electrolyte issues, discuss supplementation with your doctor before proceeding. Medical guidance ensures that your pursuit of performance does not inadvertently compromise your health. In conclusion, sodium bicarbonate is a proven buffer for high-intensity exercise, but gastrointestinal distress often limits its practicality. Start with smaller doses, split your intake, optimize timing, and consider capsules or meals to reduce discomfort. Remember that the best protocol is not the largest dose. It is the one you can tolerate and replicate consistently. If side effects persist despite adjustments, the supplement may not be worth the trouble. Prioritize training, nutrition, and recovery first, and treat supplements as optional tools. No two athletes are the same, so personalize your dosing, splitting strategy, and timing during training. Track your responses to capsules and meals, adjusting as needed. When in doubt, consult a sports nutritionist or physician for guidance. Ultimately, your success with sodium bicarbonate depends on your ability to tolerate it and integrate it into your existing routines without compromising your performance or health.